So we're in the greenhouse here, and we're clearing out this compost pile. So this is our very rudimentary but very effective heating system. This pile was made 3 weeks ago, and it's done. It's cooled down. It's ready to go. And it's been keeping the temperatures up in here. And so I'm just kind of grabbing the bulky material. I'm using this 5-tine fork, which is going to let a lot drop through. The stuff that drops through and kind of pools around here, piles around here, I'm going to sift and use that for potting mix and whatnot. And everything that either makes it into the bucket or gets sifted out is going to the raised beds outside to get them ready for planting in spring. And then later today I'm going to make a new compost pile here to keep this place warm all through the winter. Really quite a remarkable success. This is my first time doing an indoor compost, and it turned out really quite nice. Some of the best stuff I made all season, actually. So pretty pleased with that. Also, if you can kind of head over here a little bit, we're getting our herb garden underway for next year. This is a continuation of that. So we've got some parsley here. We got some like curly leaf parsley here, some basils that are in various states of not particularly happy with me. I'm still dialing it in. I didn't really like the sub-irrigation. They want to dry out. I've got them a chunkier mix here, and they seem to be recovering. But then also these are Moroccan mint. They're actually from this plant originally. And I just cut cuttings off of them, and I have a little heating pad in the house. Put them in some perlite in just like a transparent pair of plastic cups. I have an example of that over here. I can show you. These are some apple cuttings that may or may not actually produce, hardwood cuttings out of season. So getting them to actually root is a little bit difficult. They're not super excited about rooting. But this thing's been in here for 2 months maybe. It's still alive, it's still kicking. So I'm hoping to get some roots because it is a favorite. But did that same protocol with some of the oregano and some of the mints. They just immediately put on roots. We're gonna have, I just gotta keep making the planters basically. I think there's another 10 maybe ready to go in the next couple of days. But it's really nice if you have a space where you can keep herbs over the winter. Beginning of November, they all go on half price sale. So all of these herbs were super cheap. And then, once they get established and healthy, we can just keep propagating them and propagating them and propagating them. And so we've got, once you have the genetics, you pay $3 for the genes, and you can keep making copies of the plant. And then, this container is recycled from a bakery, I think. They get in icing and all sorts of stuff in bulk, and then they're like, what are we going to do with all these buckets? So it's really quite a nice situation. If we take these out, if you'll walk with me, I'm asking a lot of the camera person today. Apologies. But we head on out begrudgingly, as this is the warmest place on the property. But we head to the newly enclosed market garden location. I always get a feeling when I'm doing like farmer's carry, like, Mickey Mouse in Fantasia. Got the buckets. So out here, this was our protocol for this year. As we clear out drainage and whatnot around the property, we get these nice shovelfuls of soil, and you can see it's full of organic matter, right? So it has a lot of structural integrity. I dug this up probably 3 weeks ago. It's been out in the elements, right? But because it has so many roots in it, because this whole landscape has basically just been growing perennial grasses, For as long as anybody knows, the USDA pulled all of the old federal imagery for us back to the 30s, and this place is just grass. Um, it's been cleared for a long, long time. They don't have the government doesn't know what it was before, and so when we had the wetland determination and soils determination for program eligibility for conservation, they're like, it's been pasture land. You're basically exempt from everything. But because it's been pasture land, we have these really just well held together chunks here. They come up from the shovel very nicely, so we can just stack them and very quickly make a raised bed. And we just layer compost right on top. We'll spread this out with a rake, and I mean, we could plant in it probably 2 weeks from now and get great results, but 2 weeks from now it's probably going to have snow on top of it. So by the time this compost has been able to integrate down into this, and all of the organisms from the compost are going to move down the soil profile, and they're going to break down the organic matter that's in all of this, we're going to end up with a really nice raised growing surface by the time spring comes. So it's going to be fabulous. And then all of these spaces where we grow all the tomatoes, and so they've been lately reconditioned. They've got a little bit more compost added to them from the last summer piles, and then had a little bit of topsoil from our big pile of topsoil over there added onto them. They have cover crop seeds planted in them, which I think the birds ate most of. I came out here the other day and there's this big flock of birds. I was like, oh, you guys, come on. But, you know, there are worse things to do in life than to feed a bunch of birds who are probably struggling to find something to eat at this time of year. But the compost should be sufficient to add the nutrition back that we took away from with the tomatoes, and all of these beds will be ready. These beds will be ready. This is going to extend all the way down there. I'm hoping to get 10 beds at least in here over the winter, which will be 10 more than we had at the start of the season last year. So we should be off and running with our nice, newly contained market garden space. I say market garden as a style. I mean, this is really all going to be food for the food bank. But it's that kind of, you know, high value, high density annual production where you're in a tight space growing a lot of lettuce, brassicas, tomatoes, probably some strawberries. I'm probably going to get a bed of strawberries in here because the keynote strawberry is really good. I'm rambling at this point. This is what we're up to. We're making the surfaces for raised bed with the very same compost that is heating the greenhouse. So it's really quite a win-win.